What is up, plant community? If you like my videos, go ahead, give me a like, share, subscribe, and thumbs up. So this is just going to be a general update for the house plants, not really the bonsais or anything like that. Oh, I forgot to feed the bunny. Oh no, better feed my mother's bunny. Hey there, little guy. Such a good little bunny. I better feed him real quick. 1 minute. There you go, Fluffy. I got you your food. Alright, so gonna be a general update on just the plants, not the bonsais. So here we have my mother's Duffenbachia or dumb cane. It's a little iffy, but that's because I was overwatering it. It should be fine now. It's got some smaller leaves. Hopefully the leaves will get bigger because it's really not that far from the window at all. And then I got rid of my mom's big old Dracena. It was just too big. Well, not really it was too big. It was more of the fact of need more room as I accumulate more bonsai trees. Here we have this guy, my only surviving yucca left. It's leaning a bit, so I'll just implement this here to try and correct it. Need some wiring to correct that, really. And then we have my mom's Madagascar palm doing pretty good in here. If it falls, don't catch it. I learned that the hard way. Those thorns are, man, they'll get you. And then we have my only jade doing pretty good. And then over here we have, sorry, checking out one of my bonsai trees. It's kind of not doing so great, and then it kind of is. It's just one of those things where it's like, eh. Here we have my mom's Sansevieria. It's doing all right. One's still kind of scrawny. We might lose that one right here, but otherwise than that, if we do lose that one right there, it's all right. We got a bunch of babies. Then we have my mom's only Dracena now, which is her Lucky Bamboo. It might still have some pest on it, so I will have to indefinitely spray that again. Could be too that hasn't been watered in a while. And then here we have my mom's Christmas cactus, which I think was being ate on by a bug. Sorry if the quality's dark, by the way. It is cloudy out. I'm noticing that as I am recording, guys. I'm sorry, bear with me. I don't really have good equipment yet. So, yeah, it kind of got munched on. You can see it there. The other one didn't, though. The other one's fine. But, yeah, I don't know what animal chose to munch on that particular one. Alright, now we're gonna go into my... Oh, you guys are probably wondering what I did with the banana. Sorry about that. Here it is. The banana is just dried, stored in a dark area. It gets a little bit of light in here, but not too much, so it just kind of stays dormant. Now we're gonna go into my room and talk about some things. So, my grandpa passed away, and I've been dealing with this plant for a while. It's grown some. The Dracena tricolor back here is grown. I have too many Dracena tricolors, which is another reason why I got rid of it. But anyways, that whole planting is doing good. The only thing that didn't do good was the fern that was in there, which was a rabbit's foot fern. It did die, sadly, but everything else seems to be doing okay. We have my orange bird of paradise. It's getting some yellow leaves on it that will need to be trimmed off. It's doing good, though. It's doing relatively well. This guy doesn't know that it's winter and is still growing. My good old perler palm here. Bear with me, guys. This is a mess. This is where I store a lot of my stuff. Um, Here we have my Platinum Mist Peace Lily. It's reverting. Don't know why it's reverting. And no, I'm not going to cut it back. Because I believe if the variegation is going to revert, then it's going to revert no matter what I do. And I really don't want to mess with having to keep it a certain way. Here we have My Lucky Bamboo in a Japanese styled pot. I try to simulate its habitat with these rocks, basically simulating a riverbed or something. Doing really good. And then here we have this plant, I think it's called Purple Shield, doing pretty good. Here we have my Dracaena corn plant. Don't know the proper name of it. I just call it the Dracaena corn plant. They're so common. Doing really good. Grow light's right there, so it gets plenty of the grow light. Doing really well. Here we have my mom's white bird of paradise. Doing really good. I know one year I put it in the ground and I dug it up and it did really well. It rooted into the pot. I might do that again next year. I might put it in the garden somewhere and put it in direct sunlight and let that grow. Up here we have my spider plant doing really good. It's getting all these little babies right here, which is cool. It looks like nature just took over in here. I love it. And then there we have my arrowhead vine, which broke off of this guy right here. He's kind of black right now. I think it's just a bit of the shock. But he'll do fine. He'll eventually do better. And that mister is supposed to be up here. Anyways, we have my ZZ plant doing good. The other one over there, the black one, it's is what it is. I gotta correct its growth. Here we have my Marble Queen pothos doing really good. And then by it, we have my Golden Pothos also doing kind of good. It has some yellow leaves, so I'll have to take care of, trim it up. I gotta trim it up anyways, kind of get more of a better look than what's going on here. Here we have my Pothos Enjoy doing really good. And then here we have an Arrowhead Vine next by the light trying to heal it up. It's doing okay-ish. And then if I set down, we have my other corn plant. It has more of a white milky cream variegation, which I really like. I'm trying to correct its growth here because when I pulled it out, one of the leaves got yanked on the wood. I was underneath the table and I didn't know that. And when I went to go pull it up, well, it almost uprooted itself. So now I'm trying to correct that growth. So, yeah. Here we have my Hawaiian Thai plant, which is a species of cordyline. Usually I keep it out until the end of October. With everything changing, used to I wouldn't be able to do that in our normal climate. This isn't our normal climate anymore, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I'm sure you guys got that. I don't know why I had to explain that. Anyways, yeah, it's doing really good. Still getting some of that peak variegation on it. I'm sure that this will revert back to more of a darker foliage being inside. Then here we have my Philodendron Sandu. I haven't rotated it because it seems like it's getting enough light from here, so I've just been kind of leaving it to grow as is. And then here we have my they were supposed to be giant elephant ears, which for us these are giants, but they're not huge. Got one yellow leaf, but I think that was due to the cold. Seem to be growing relatively well. They get a little bit of light here, but they mainly get the light from the grow light, so that's what they're really dependent on here. Including the ones on the bottom here, I'm also letting them depend more on the grow light. So, got two new air plants Uh, one's purple and one is more of an orange. I put here to try to give more of a jungle vibe, which I really like. I'm going to work on getting more. Here we have my coffee plant. It is putting out some new foliage. I need to actually lift it up because what has happened is the isopods within the soil, and this soil, because there's so much organic material that the isopods got in there and it's starting to lower down the soil. So what I gotta do next year is I actually gotta kind of pull it up and put it more towards the edge like I had it. And then over here, I'm gonna turn this grow light on so you guys can kind of see a bit better here. And then right here, we got another Dracena, which has more of a white variegation on the edges, a yellowish white. It's very cool. I love it. But yeah, I'm also too having issues with it standing up. And then here, of course, we have the Dracena Limelight doing really good back there. And then here, we also have my Chinese Evergreen variegated. I remember in 2020 and 2021, it was hard to find these, so I just kind of kept them. And sorry for the shaky camera. I was turning off the light. And yeah, I really love I really love this one, and I love the variegation. It is actually the only one that has ever done really well for me, and has managed to survive. And then here I have my Dracena tricolor. Here we can see little nodes. These nodes are in case something happens, like say a big windstorm comes and breaks this off, or if I choose to cut it, those little nodes right there, which are dormant right now, will backbud and will allow for new foliage to come out. But yeah, I like how this one's growing. And then let's go right here. We have my Pygmy date palm, which is really close to my window. Seems to be doing good. It seems to be doing better in here. It was growing good outside, but the heat and things I think kind of did not help with its growth. I know a lot of things this year suffered because of the heat. Um, got some dead here. I probably, unless the dead starts causing me problems, I'm not really going to trim it. I'm going to worry about that during spring, and then that's when I'll handle it. Here we have my silver squill. It's doing good right here by the window. That's where I'm keeping it. Then here we have my croton bush on fire, doing good, doing really better than the weeping fig, honestly, because I did bring it in during the night. I should have during the night with my weeping fig, but a lot of things happened where that just wasn't plausible for me. Then here we have my arrowhead vine. It's looking a bit blech, but hopefully it'll do good. If not, it'll just get tossed. Here we have this guy that I dug up from the garden. Forget the name of it. If you know the name, leave a comment down below. But yeah, I love that plant, and it does relatively good being dug up. And then here we have my elephant ears, which are also doing all right. And then here we have my variegated weeping fig. The variegation is starting to get a little green. It's going to do that. It's going to get more green because there isn't a whole lot of light. As you can see right now, it's kind of cloudy. But yeah, there isn't going to be a whole lot of light, so it's going to be harder for it to photosynthesize, so it's going to revert a little bit back to green. Then here we have my rabbit's foot fern, looking nice, looking fluffy, looking beautiful. And then here we have my blue star fern, looking a bit right now, but it kind of did get the proper shade I was hoping, so it'll be back outside again, but I might keep it around back or something. And then here we have, which people think is an overrated plant, but I don't know. I really love this guy, my Dracena Florida Beauty. Love it. Love the white speckles on it. It's looking great. And then here we have my Dracena Red Star. It too is doing good. I've accidentally ripped some leaves off trying to get back there to get to the humidifier, but it's doing good. The humidity is 59 and the room temperature is 79. So that's pretty good. I'd like to see it up into the 60s, maybe a little higher, but other than that. And then here we have one of my English ivies and a hanging basket doing relatively okay, doing good. The back is kind of bald, but oh well. Then that one too is doing alright. I haven't noticed any pest issues lately, which is good. I hate dealing with pests. Then over here we have my cutting. It's in right now. I think it's trying to adapt to the indoor light because where I had it, it was taking direct sunlight. So hopefully my money tree there will start blooming leaves again. If not, it'll just get tossed if it dies. And the soil will be recycled. Of course, I try to recycle my soil. Saves me on cost. Here we have this philodendron. I happen to forget its name. It was gifted to me from a friend. It started out as a cutting and is doing relatively good now. It sat for a whole year, did nothing, but now it's really starting to grow. Then right there we have my Ficus triangularis. It's doing good, dropped a few leaves. Here we have my Ficus religiosa, which I think next year when I bring it out, because it's kind of dormant now, hasn't grown any ever since the summertime. It growed a little bit during the start, but I think it's going to do the exact same thing again. It's going to get a major growth spurt during the springtime, and then it's just going to kind of set, which is what it's did. Here we have my little Boston fern and my large Boston fern. My little Boston fern is doing better than the larger guy. But yeah, they're doing good. They're doing okay. The goal here is just to get them through winter and get them back outside soon as possible. Here we have my rattlesnake calathea down there doing relatively good. Got to get him in a new pot, actually. Maybe a little bit of a bigger pot. We'll have to do that next year. Wasp and a bee. I mean, not a bee, a spider. I did it again. I accidentally started an ecosystem. I I don't know how I do these things. I don't even mean to. Yeah, you just stay there, little wasp. Here, and there's no hive in here either. He's just kind of, I don't know, he just appeared. And then here we have this plant. I always forget the name of this plant. If you know the name of the plant, guys, leave it down in the comments below. That would really help people who do watch this video. Likes a lot of water, but it's doing really good. It did drop a few leaves, but not too much. It is flowering, so I think this year it will produce berries. I'm not sure what the color of the berries are. There's different colors of them, but they're normally a Christmas ornamental plant. So, and then here we have my Ficus burgundy doing really good. Still growing actually. Right there, we got a new spear point or leaf about ready to unfurl. It's literally right here by the grow light. So, and then here we have my fiddle leaf fig. It was growing a little bit. This is the newest leaf it produced, so it might go into a dormancy now. Now that it's inside and not going to be getting a whole lot of light, especially since now we're going to be more cloudy than usual. And here is my weeping fig. It's lost a lot of leaves. There's actually a lot of dead branches after this video that I am going to have to cut off. because of the simple fact that a lot of the leaves died off and there was nothing to keep it going, like a leaf on it, to keep that branch going. So I'll have to do a lot of dead trimming. And then over there, we got my Sansevieria. Well, it's now in the Dreissena species. All Sansevierias are doing good. It's just gonna kind of stay there dormant until I can get back out next year. Yeah, lots of dead on this guy. Like, here's a whole dead branch, for example. No leaves on it. There's no green grow tip on it. It's just completely dead. I'm gonna have to completely trim that. It might replace the branch. It's also, what happened with this guy is, yeah, fun little story is I took him, and you can see a lot more dead branches there. I took him, I was trying to get him in because it was getting kind of cold out. Well, I found out he rooted into the ground through the pot. So I gotta also get a new pot because he's a healthy tree, a good looking tree. I want him to get a little bit bigger. So he's not used to having a root prune. And this is the worst time to prune your trees. And I couldn't get him out. And so I had to, well, cut the root from the drainage hole and take him in during the day. I didn't like doing that because also I took him in during the day. He was bound to drop some leaves. And then with the root pruning, that definitely did help. That was a big shock factor. So I had to deal with a lot of foliage cleanup. He just started dropping leaves. He still kind of is. I know he'll make it. I know he'll be fine. It's just a matter of how much dieback I'm going to have to deal with. And then, you know, the shock of having lower light and not the intensity of the direct sunlight, too, did not help with that factor. So, yeah, a lot of factors played into this guy. So, yeah, and then over here, we have... Oh, man, I forget the name of it. I'll turn on the grow light so you guys can see it better. Yeah, I forget the name of it, but they're a common house plant. But I took this because these are used as annuals. I like to use them as a centerpiece. And then here, it's a bonsai. It's gonna be a bonsai eventually, but it's a tiger bark ficus cutting that I'm hoping will grow just fine underneath this blue spectrum grow light, which so far it all is. And then this is a... Man, I wish I could remember the names. So many plants I can't even remember the names. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Bye.